Hey everyone, welcome to another video. Over the last few years, I have gone through over hundreds of resumes and many of them fail to stand out from the rest. So if you're someone who is trying to prepare your resume, here are 10 tips that's going to help your resume stand out from the crowd. Before we get into the video, if you're watching this for the first time, I'm Lakshman, I'm a full-time marketer. In this channel, we talk about tech, money and growth. So before going ahead, make sure you subscribe to stay ahead with all the future videos. Number one, the size of your resume. Many people are confused about what should be the overall size of my resume. Some even get it up to 3 pages for a fresher's resume, and that is not recommended at all. If you're a fresher, if you're up to 2 years of experience, then I would recommend sticking to just a 1 page resume. At the worst case, when you get experience, you can slowly move on to 2 page resumes, but definitely try to avoid those 3 page resumes. It is great if you can stick to the one page resume, because in that case you are confined to show whatever you want to show to the recruiter, and it's easy for them to understand you at a fast glance. Number two, copy checking the resume. I cannot count the number of times wherein I went ahead to help the person on the other side of the table in order to correct their resume during the interview. I mean, at that point of time, pretty much guaranteed this interview is done, but out of courtesy, you go ahead and help that person. Don't end up in such situations. Go ahead and read those resumes multiple times. If you want, you can use tools like Grammarly or Hemingway in order to just do a cross spell check or a grammatical check, or you can even give it to some of your friends and then ask them to go through it once again, but ensure there are no typos and grammatical errors there. That's kind of embarrassing. Number three, alignment. Try to stay away from all the boxes, the indexing and all those formatting options. Keep it very simple and keep it in an F pattern, whereas you align everything towards the left hand side. No justification please. It's better if everything is aligned to the left. So if you're using a 2 column structure, then it just makes it easy for people to start from the left, move to the center and then come back to the left. And it also makes a good look overall. Number four, the summary. This is the first section you will start writing whenever you start preparing your resume, and try to keep it as short as possible. I would recommend not going more than 5 sentences. The quick things you have to mark here are: number one, what has been your career so far? Working here, so and so. Number two, what has been your top skill set? Number three, what are some of the key highlights of your career? Number four, any additional qualities you possess? And number five, what exactly you're looking for in the next role. As simple as that. Number five, the work experience section. Now, if you're somebody who's already experienced, it's important or it's crucial in order to showcase your work experience. In that case, go through a chronological order, which means your most recent job should be listed first and then work your way down through timeline to get to the first job you started with, not in the reverse order. And always use this particular formatting where you mention the company name, your role, what is the time period, and quickly after that, what exactly did you do? What are the highlights of this particular period? Let's say you might have handled a team that looked into e-commerce in one particular region, and you might have achieved scaling that particular team from 0 to 100, or you might have won projects from $100,000 to $200,000. All those sort of achievements. I'm not talking about individual accomplishments, but as a professional, what did you contribute to that particular organization? That has to go there. And make sure you also list it in the chronological order. Number six, a separate section for all the internships and the side projects which you do. During college, all of us would have gone through some sort of project experience, some of them for academic purpose, some of them out of our own interest. It's important you mention all these internship and project experiences in the resume. Now, this shows the recruiter that you are someone who's ready to go out of your way, apart from your regular academics, in order to go ahead, do something and learn something. That shows your interest amongst all the others. So make sure you add a separate section and highlight it in your resume. Number seven, the education part. Yes, this is another important part. Now, most of you would have the question when I started saying that you should have only 1 page resume. What exactly I can remove? This is the first place you want to look into. As you grow in your career, the less and less people would start caring about what kind of marks did you score in your school. Your 10th grade, 12th grade, all those things turn irrelevant. They just want to understand the story you bring to the table and what kind of experience you have had in the past. So as you grow further in your career, slowly start deleting all those past experiences from the school and the list of accomplishments you would have mentioned there. Just mention this has been your degree, this is the percentile you have scored, and these are some of the things which highlights from your overall academic experience. That's more than enough. Number 8, Highlighting key points. Yes, each resume, whenever you are applying to a specific job or a specific role, it is important you customize your resume for that particular role and the company. For example, let's say you're applying for the role of a product marketer at Google. It is important that you highlight some of the key skills that those people need at Google. Now, in other cases, for example, if there is an IT service industry where you're applying as a marketer, then try to find whether you can find some tools which they are using. For example, built with is an easy way. You can just enter the domain and then you will get all the list of tools which that particular company is using. If you have any sort of expertise in those particular tools, make sure you highlight it in your resume and try to keep this space as personalized as possible. Number 9, keep your resume as minimal and as simple as possible. Now, most people try to get really creative with their resume and it just gets really difficult in order to go through it and quickly identify what are the key points a recruiter might look into. So try to keep it as minimal as possible, as less flashy as possible, and try to use those standardized fonts such as Calibri, Times New Roman or Lato instead of instead of experimenting with any cursive fonts or something which is new or out of blue. It just makes the recruiter's job easier. Number 10, and the most easiest way to upgrade your resume and make it stand out, is by adding a picture of yours. Most of us would actually add pictures, but it would have been a studio picture where you might have taken it long ago, maybe during your college for some other purpose. But I would definitely recommend shooting a picture just for your profile picture and for your resume. Try to, you can just Google and find out how to get a professional picture. I'll add my picture, or you can look into my DP of what exactly I'm using. This is something which I've been using across all my profiles and in my resume as well. Not everyone would add something like this on their resume, which immediately attracts the recruiter's attention and makes sure that they remember your profile even after closing it. Alright, now that you have stayed until now, I have a bonus point for you. Highlighting some of the key points in your resume. Most of us will often get confused how exactly I can make something stand out from my resume. The easiest way to do it is just by applying the bold formatting to it. Now, if you're applying any one amongst the BIU, bold, italic and underline, just don't do the other. Just choose one of them and do it, and I would personally recommend using the bold option, which means reserve the bold option for that particular highlight alone and avoid using it elsewhere. This is a quick way to showcase the numbers which you have achieved, some of the key skills you possess, and some of the highlights from your career. Wherever these points you bring in, try to use bold and make sure they stand out. That's pretty much it, guys. As simple as that. 10 simple ways to go ahead, relook into your resume and upgrade it and make sure it stands out. If you guys have more tips from your experience, do go ahead and share it in the comments. If you guys find it useful, you exactly know what to do. Thanks for watching this video. See you guys in the next video.